economist YouGov came out on March 8th with a new series of favorable ratings in all 50 states. Trump is now at a minus 12 approval in Iowa, which just shows how upside down things have gotten. That's since the February one, it's dropped even further. So obviously, I think Iran and gas prices are starting to already have an impact. But how do you see this impacting farmers? The economy and the fight again in that general election. Is it affordability? What's your path?
Yeah, I call myself a common sense prairie populist, like Senator Harkin would call himself. I really believe that this upcoming election is about affordability. It's about the kitchen table issues. And that's what I've been out there talking about: the need for a livable wage, affordable housing, affordable healthcare, pharmaceuticals, addressing our water quality crisis in Iowa, our cancer crisis in Iowa, supporting our public schools, because that was really a point of personal pride for all Iowans to be the very, very best. And now we've precipitously dropped. The thing that we hear the most consistently out on the trail, it doesn't matter if we're in urban areas or rural areas, is people are struggling. And that people are struggling just to keep food on the table, just to pay their electric bill, just to keep a roof above their head. And, Ashley Hinson has a lot to answer for. And she comes out and she makes an announcement video and she says, I want to be Donald Trump's best ally in Iowa. Well, I come out and I say, I want to represent Iowa and Iowans, and I want to represent the middle class and our workers and our small businesses and our rural communities. That's what I want to be fighting for. And I understand why Hinson does that. She looks at a state that Trump carries by 12 points and says, if I get every Trump voter out, I waltz into the U.S. Senate. But this is a very, very different game. And I can tell you this, the Trump signs, the Trump flags have come down all over. You go into these rural communities that have been absolutely decimated by the tariffs and, commodities prices being upside down, and they feel rightfully betrayed. We now lead the nation in farm foreclosures here in Iowa. And you go into these rural communities, there's no longer any, their pharmacy is gone. And their healthcare clinic has closed because of cuts at the state level and at the federal level, cuts to Medicaid, cuts to ACA subsidies. Their schools have closed and consolidated. And these are the real pillars of these communities. You go in these rural communities, they don't even have grocery stores anymore. And they're recognized that the state and the country needs a new direction. It does not matter where we go. We hear about affordability. And we also will hear from people every single event that we do. We get independents and we get Republicans showing up, card-carrying Republicans, and they will say, Josh, I proudly voted for Trump, but I'm not for this level of naked corruption. I still believe in democracy. I don't like what I'm seeing, and I'm going to vote blue this go round. And it really is an opportunity. Ashley Hinson has a lot to answer for. She is someone that supported the big, beautiful bill. That's 110,000 Iowans that are going to outright lose their health care benefits. Thousands more lose their food benefits just to give tax breaks to billionaires. This is in a state where we've already closed over 40 skilled nursing facilities, nursing homes, and rural hospitals over the last 5 years due to lack of reimbursement. 2 in 5 Iowans are on Medicaid. I mean, it is literally the lifeblood for these rural healthcare clinics. I mean, we are basically dead last for nearly every single health metric. Dead last nearly for OBGYNs, PMIC beds, mental health providers, mental health supports. You could go on. And then she's someone that voted against the ACA subsidies continues. That's 137,000 Iowans that are going to see their healthcare premiums double or triple. And I can tell you this, I've already been out there and in these rural communities, I've already heard directly from individuals that have said, my premiums didn't just double or triple. They've gone up 5 or 6 times. I was talking to a young guy out in Ottumwa, and he was saying that he had gone from $100 to something like $850. I mean, it's, you're just going to see more and more individuals that are going to be uninsured and put more and more burden on our emergency rooms. And, she's somebody that has voted 4 times to support the tariffs that have decimated our rural communities. And, you're looking at these farmers where they by and large went out and voted for Trump. And I understand why they did that. That Trump, the one thing I give him credit for is that he accurately assessed that the status quo was not working for the average American or for the middle class. And so they said, we need to address this. But all of his policies have been faux populism. And, from the tax cuts, 85% going to the 1%. Big Beautiful Bill, I think, is the most egregious example where you're cutting healthcare and food assistance just to give tax breaks to billionaires. And then in Iowa in particular, you look at a situation where we bail out Argentina to the tune of $20 billion so that the Chinese can buy their soybeans. Meanwhile, our Iowa farmers are completely upside down. And every single rural community we go to, we keep hearing from farmers, I don't know if we're going to be able to make it. And I think we're headed towards another farm crisis that we saw in the 1980s.